In remission, doing well, still learning.
Yes. Well, I'm 10 years in and I'm still learning. So I think that, and things change, like they reformulate things or change things. And the 16/8's a little bit new. Like I've just been doing it for about 6 months, and it's kind of a new way of doing our intermittent fasting. So that's been kind of fun, and it's working really well for me at
Awesome.
this stage of my life. I feel like it's something that works well for women in particularly, and in this phase, 40 and up, like in that stage of life. I feel like it's working really well for at least the people I'm coaching. I kind of started and did it for a couple months myself and just noticed a big change in just, I had trouble gaining, muscle mass and just not being able to get enough protein in and not being able to see that muscle mass gain. But this has definitely shifted that for me. So I'm super excited about it. Now, is this your first go at the 16/8 program?
I always started sweet, but it didn't work out very well because I wasn't home a lot.
Oh, okay.
And I also have problems with my legs. I'm building muscle there from atrophy from RSD for 11 years.
Ooh,
so
that
would get to the point where it would be too uncomfortable, and I had to have that protein after walking. Is what I'm noticing so far. Because once I have that shake in, then legs calm right back down. It's weird.
Yeah. Oh, hold on, let me just adding somebody else in here. Joanne, can you hear me? Doesn't show up microphone or anything. Well, that's rough. That RSD is rough in your legs, huh? Both legs?
It's full body.
Really? Oh, you couldn't just get it in your pinky finger or something. That is rough.
Yeah.
Were you in an accident, or did it just kind of come on from?
I sprained my ankle.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible. I'm so sorry. Do you find that
getting into bed of all things?
Oh. Did you find that when you started to cleanse and get that protein in, that helped the inflammation? Like, does it help cool it down?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah,
big
that's
time.
what I'm
I mean, my
finding with
face
my
just
clients.
I've lost 45 pounds.
What a testimony of that. Interesting. Yeah, I have a couple of who have experienced that and really had that, like, and even arthritis too, like people with arthritis, same kind of inflammation, right? On a different scale, but yeah. Well, that's great to hear. Yeah. So Joanne, can you hear me okay?
I can.
Oh, good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. It's an up and down, back and forth kind of week so far. It's only Monday.
Boy, life is kind of just like that. Like, especially with what we're all going through with this COVID thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy. So, is there any questions right out the gate here so that I can try to, not waste your time?
The only thing I know about
for
macros
like hours.
is that it's protein, carbs, and fats. Is about all I know.
That's exactly what it is. Yes. So it's figuring that out. Now I use this calculator.net. It's right there. And I'll post it in the comments. You just go to calculator.net and you can download it. I thought it was an app, but it looks like an app on my phone. But last time people were like, it's not in the App Store. Anyways, you can just Google it and then download it. And when you open it up, this is what you get. You can see that.
Oh, okay.
Is that better? The light differently? And you plug in all of your, like your age, your height, your weight, and then it asks for your activity level. It asks for whether you want to lose weight, gain weight, whatever it is. And then you hit calculate. And so of course your macros change as we go through life, right? So we have to kind of, that's where I'm always like, do you know what your macros are? Because it's different this year than it was last year. And so you want to kind of know those things, because I believe that when you hit your numbers, protein numbers and your calories mainly, the rest of it will fall into place. Then you will get the results you're looking for. So if you're trying to lose 1 pound a week, you put that in here, you tell it how many times a week you're going to work out. And so again, that changes, right? And then it will tell you exactly how many protein you should have per day. It does tell you carbs, sugars, fats, all of that. But really, I like to simplify it, just like the isogenic system is simplifying our eating. This, if we just focus on how much, so if it tells me I need to have 1,600 calories a day and I need 110 grams of protein a day, if I'm getting 110 grams of protein in a day, under 1,600 calories, I'm not going to go over in my carbs, sugars, fats. I don't need to really worry about that. It'll find its place in there, because if you have too many carbs, your calories are going to go above your 1,600 and your proteins won't be there yet. So focus on protein and calories. And when you get those two numbers, you're going to see the results. Now, the hard part of the 16-8 is getting all of that protein in an 8-hour window. So the way that I do that, I don't know how you would do it with just food. I need to do it with the shakes. That's food, but that's how I get the protein in, is I do a 36-gram shake at 11 o'clock. So I do my workout in the morning. And then my first intake of food is that Isolean Pro shake, or you can mix it up, 1.5 scoops of the lean and 1 scoop of the pro. That makes 36 grams of protein. That's about all we want to take in one meal. You get above 40, it's a little hard to digest, it's a little hard on the liver. So we want to kind of stay around that. So some people are like, oh, I'll just load it up. Well, it's a little hard on your system to digest that much protein in one sitting. And you do want a protein pace, right? You want it to kind of be through the day. So I'll do that. And then about 2 or 3 hours later, I do an amped shake, which is 25 grams of protein. It could just be another Isolean shake or another Isolean Pro, and then you'd be at 72 grams of protein already. I usually do the amped one because it's not as filling and I'm not hungry. So I just dump it in some almond milk or something like that and just whip it up. I like it warm, but again, I'm out here in Washington freezing my buns. So I'll often have like a warm drink in the afternoon, just like a snack, like you might have a cup of coffee or something like that. And I use the chocolate in almond milk. It's super yummy. So I'll just, use a little frother and mix that up and then have that in the afternoon. And then I eat dinner, hoping that my dinner meal is at least, 25, 30, 40-ish grams of protein. Then I'm over my 100 grams, bam, got it done. I do my cleanse in the morning, but I usually suggest to my clients that if they are trying to lose weight, that you do the cleanse at night and you do the cleanse again in the morning. And of course, that just helps to flush everything out. I would also recommend that, Debbie, when you're trying to get inflammation down. So it's not just that's not just a weight thing, right? Isogenics wasn't formulated as weight loss, right? It was formulated to get our acidic levels down, and it was formulated to reduce inflammation. The weight loss thing is just comes. So
bonus.
Yeah, that'll just happen. So in your situation, I would suggest you cleanse at night and you cleanse in the morning. Is that what you've been doing?
I cleanse at night and then I do the cleanse days.
Okay. Yeah. So the cleanse days, of course, it's good, better, and best. We always said this was a good way to do it. A better way was a full 24 hours and the best way was 48. I believed that for the last 10 years. And I still believe that is the way when you are trying to lose weight, good, better, and best. But for me at this point in my life at 55, I really struggle with keeping muscle mass on. And I work out, I do yoga most days and struggle to keep muscle mass on and body fat going down. So doing this every day, I find that I get enough protein in my body over a 7-day span that I'm starting to see that trend of gaining muscle mass again. So it's working. Now I do, the clients that I'm working with, I still have them do, I have them do this 16-8, but then every once in a while, like once a week, every other week, whatever they want to throw in, however aggressive they want to be with it, they still throw in that full 24-hour cleanse or a 48 if we're trying to really reduce weight. Because of course, again, I do believe that's the best way to drop weight, is to do those full cleanse days. You get into that low ketosis as you go longer. And that's where your body fires up and starts to burn fat, right? So you can definitely combine the two. So if you do
That
this
makes sense.
16-8, is that what you're doing, Debbie?
I haven't done a cleanse day in a couple weeks just because of the scheduling, but we're doing one tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Okay. Yeah. And I think that's great. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I personally do that. Like I have been kind of going through doing this 16-8 every day. And then every once in a while, like probably right after Thanksgiving, that those kinds of things where you kind of just enjoy. And I'm all about an 80-20 kind of thing where, 80% of the time you're on your program, but 20% of the time it's Thanksgiving. And
Right.
don't deny yourself of the fun goodness that is, part of just social eating and just being right. That's important. That's important for your mind. And when we've been on the program for a while, we don't overeat anyways. Like I don't find myself overeating
Yeah.
ever really. Right. You're just
No.
way better at judging that. So, and then maybe I won't feel that great the next day because maybe I ate something, a lot of sugar or whatever it was. And then I'll just cleanse and then boom, I'm right back on track.
Exactly.
Yeah. So once you know your macros, then the IsoLife app makes a little bit more sense if you're using that, right?
Yep.
And you can do it on the daily, if you're doing the daily, it makes a little bit more sense. If you're using it on, where it picks your cleanse days, that's great. You can do that. But if you're doing the 16-8 all the time, then go into the date, change it to daily wellness, because then it will every day be on this 16-8. You can set it for that 16-8-ish kind of a program, and it'll track a little bit better for you. But if you're still doing the full cleanse days every once in a while, stay on the weight loss, and then just put in those days, just know in your mind that you're not going to eat your first shake until later in the day, 14 to 16 hours. I try to get people to do 16 hours. But anywhere in there, you don't have to be like, on it. That's the beauty of isogenics, is that you can, fudge it a little bit here and there. If you need to have a late dinner, then have your first shake a little later. If you need to do, an early lunch or something, a brunch on Thanksgiving, then that's fine. Then just stop eating later in the day, but just adjust your 8-hour window like that. And that works really great. Does that help at all?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you
Definitely.
have any specific questions that maybe I can help you with? Like with that, I'll post that app below so it's super easy to punch your stuff in. Are you using the IsoLife app?
Yes, definitely.
Great.
Definitely. Yeah, it helps a lot. So I just need to, Kasha was telling me it's about, she's saying I probably need about 100 grams of protein. So that's what I've been working towards
Yeah.
hitting every day.
That's
And
what I
most
try to
days
hit
I get it. Every once in a while, it's like, ooh, not so good.
But that's okay. Again, hit it most of
Yep.
the time, and that you're trying to hit that. That's where I like the tri-release shake. If you don't have that in your cupboard, maybe throw it on your next order, because that's like a snack to me. Or the bars, like that's a good 20 grams of protein, and I can pretty much eat a bar most anytime.
Yeah, the bars are good. I just got those. I had them at the racetrack, so I'd have something to eat if we were running around. They worked out really good.
Mm-hmm. And I'll make protein balls and just have those in the fridge. So I'll pop a couple of those. And if you can kind of figure out how much protein's in those, or buy the ones that are made. The little bites are already made. I like to just make them and get creative with whatever, and have those on hand. But the bars, I'll just cut them up and have them in a bag and just eat that through the day as a snack. And that's an extra 20 grams protein that I'm getting in throughout the day. And that the more you can pace your protein, typically the better your body absorbs it, and you'll have, better chance. And especially for what you're dealing with, the inflammation, that protein pacing is important.
Yes, makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Mhm.
Yeah, right now, knock on wood. Thank you, Isogenics. No pain, no RSD
Oh
pain.
my gosh, that's fantastic. What a testimony to throw out there, you know?
Yep.
How many people could we help? Oof, that's
Exactly.
fantastic. Yeah, I love that. I'm so glad you're on here. I've got a friend that I'm going to call up. Feeling it with her in her hands, but yeah, not her
Yeah.
whole body. Yeah. Well, that is
Exactly.
awesome. Well, I think the cleansing is a big factor in that too.
Oh, definitely. It makes a big difference. And I started just at night for the first month. I just cleansed at night every night.
Yeah.
And I went
And that
from
made
there.
a difference right away.
Yep.
Huh. And then when you did
Yeah.
the full day cleanses, did you notice that it even more?
Yes, definitely. There
Interesting.
was a little bit more pain usually in my spine on a cleanse day, but you know, other than that, it was fine. And then once I finished cleansing, the next day it was gone again.
And that was because you
It's
didn't
just
have the
pulling that
protein.
out of your nervous system, I guess.
Interesting. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the girl that Kasha, that we're actually doing a Zoom Thursday. The two of us are going to do Zoom Thursday with Kimberly
Uh-huh. Yes.
and Stephanie,
Mhm.
and talking about our journeys. And
Cool.
so
I'll
hers
check
hers
on
is
that.
different than mine, although we have the same disorder. She was a lot sicker than I was. She was an organ
Oh,
failure when she started.
that's right. I remember that. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay, I'm going to try to jump on that. My husband, I'll try to get him on there too. So he'll be on Wednesday, and I think, and we'll, he's a pharmacist, so he's always interested in all of that kind of, you know, things that we can do to help these kinds of things without medication. So I know he's a pharmacist, but he really digs that whole, you know, we can heal the body without using, because the medications are always, you know.
Yeah, they do so much.
Yeah.
I mean, I was on so many medications that I'm not on, but I'm on 5 milligrams of blood pressure. That's it.
That's awesome.
All the rest of it gone.
Awesome. And just because we're recording this, we always like to throw it out there that Isogenics doesn't cure anything, or, you know, but it's certainly when we feed our bodies with good nutrition, the kind of nutrition that maybe we consumed as humans 100 years ago, the body will heal itself. So we're not saying that Isogenics is cured your problem or anyone's problem, but it's certainly your body is healing itself because it's getting what it needs, right?
Exactly.
Like
it's getting what it needs that wasn't getting. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
exactly.
For sure. That's like anyone.
So nutrition, what is it? Nutrient that now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. For sure. And I think we're all nutrient deficient when we're just trying our best to get the food from the grocery store and make our meals. You know, it's just not there. It's just, I don't think it's possible. Nutritionists will disagree with me, but I'm like, I don't know how you do it without, like, you know, doing this scientific formulated shake that I know everything's in there that I need. And if I can put that in my body once or twice a day. Yeah. And you're living proof that that so works. Yeah. Yeah. Well, good. Yep. Joanne, anything for us?
No, I'm just, I've totally fallen off the tracking wagon, and I just need to get back on track. So I
need a little kick in the
boot. Yeah, and I actually wasn't on a customer call when this meeting was scheduled. So hey, I can jump onto something for a change.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Well, you know, I have been working with so many people, and I think just because of the whole COVID thing and just where we're at in our world right now, that so many, like, I think today, right now, it's 1 o'clock here in Washington, and I think I've talked to 5 people saying the same thing. I've just fallen off the wagon. I've just gotten off track. It's because we're all stressed, right? Yeah. The whole world situation is stressful, and we're all just kind of maybe emotionally eating or whatever, but we're just not on track. And if you can just, I am finding that this 16-8 gets people back on track because it's easy. And, you know, like most of us can miss breakfast without even thinking about it, right? But if you get up in the morning and you can drink your coffee, your tea, bone broth, whatever, through that first part of the day, and then have your first shake around 11, that's not hard to do. It's just the discipline of stopping eating at 7 or 8 o'clock. That's usually the challenging part.
Yep.
But if you're full, if you get all of the nutrition you need in that 8 hours, then I'm not usually hungry. Like my husband's usually popping popcorn around that time, but actually I'm not really I'm not like, oh, why does he do that? I'm just like not even, there's no cravings because I've taken my ionic and then I've done my cleanse and then I've done my 2 shakes and my body has everything it needs, right? It doesn't need popcorn. So hopefully, Joanne, this will be an easy way for you to jump back in. Have you done a lot of this in the past?
A lot of what?
Isogenics, have you done like the 30-day or anything like that?
Oh, no, I generally don't follow a strict schedule system. It's just I have everything and I use all of it. It's just being consistent and but yeah, the tracking, I get obsessive about it. So then it's becomes exhausting when I'm analyzing every drop of something. And so I just kind of quit the tracking and then before long I noticed that not being as consistent as I
and I think that I work with some people who say that too. Some of them they just love tracking. They just love numbers. That's not me. And so if it becomes obsessive to you and you find yourself that it's just making you crazy, that's where this system so simple to me, because we really just need to think of those 2 numbers. And I don't track, like I don't use that anymore. I do suggest people use it initially so that they can see how much protein, but in my head, I can calculate quickly how much protein I'm having through the day. And I'm just looking for 100 grams. I'm also looking to keep it under 1600 calories, which isn't usually very hard if I'm getting my 2 shakes and my 1 meal in, but I can calculate in my head pretty fast that, that's 250 calories, that's 36 grams of protein, so you'll get so that you can do that and not really have to do all that tracking. Initially, yes, write it down or use the app, but then maybe you do step away from that a little bit and just tell yourself, I've got to get 100 grams of protein in today. How am I going to do that?
Yeah, just focusing on the two things is
just those 2 numbers. Don't worry about the fats, the sugars, and carbs, all that, because there's no way those can be too high if you're getting your protein in under your calories.
Yeah.
So hopefully that helps simplify it a little bit. Like I said, I do a 36 gram shake and then I do a 24 gram shake. I try to get those 2 in every day. Then I have to get the rest from food, which maybe is, I'm a pretty lazy eater, so I rely a lot on Isogenics food. So I might even do a bar in there sometime. And then, whatever I eat for dinner with some protein on it. And hopefully that's at least 20 grams of protein in my meal. And you two are probably way better at that, like creating a meal that has a good 35 grams of protein in it. That would be really ideal. That's what we should have. I can't say that I do that on a regular basis, but I do get most of my protein from Isogenics. And then the lazy is okay. Yeah. Like I said, Corey will be on here on Wednesday. I think there's calls every day, but if you have any pharmaceutical type questions, he'll jump on to just be here to answer anything. If you have any questions for me, though, fire them out or want to chat about anything. Otherwise, I'll let you go. All right. You good?
Thank you very much.
Okay. I absolutely love this program. Stay with it. Don't hesitate to reach out to any of us anytime. Like you can get us on Messenger. I can share my phone number or whatever. So if you have questions that are specific towards whatever coach it is, just reach out to us. We're more than happy to chat about individual specific things. Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, Barb.
All right. Happy Monday. Hit this week hard. It's Thanksgiving next week.
I can't believe it already here.
I know. It's crazy, right? All right.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.